Hello there, Rod Walker here to talk to you today about a subject that is very important to our educational and nonprofit friends, specifically colleges, universities, schools, churches, those that are evaluating bringing students back to school or parishioners or church members back to service. Very important topic today, what to do and how to handle it. So we want to talk to you and have some discussion about some areas that you want to consider. Number one, what are you doing medically? Regardless of what you think about the virus and its impact, you have to plan medically how you're going to handle a situation that's safe for your students and your parishioners. You have to think about what you're going to do if someone is sick, no different than if you had an emergency situation, someone had any other type of illness. How do you prepare and take care of them? And this COVID virus is something to think about. You really need to think about how you're going to handle that if you bring them back. Specifically, schools. Have you already looked at how to triage and separate folks? What is your plan from a safety standpoint, whether you do some sort of social distancing, do you do masks? At least have a policy, have some communication on what your plan is. Also, go ahead and look at your classrooms to see what can be done to adapt them technology-wise for virtual classrooms. Regardless, I think this is not only the wave now for this fall, but something that schools are starting to think about just long term. Because the bottom line is you still have to have an operating school, and financially you can't afford for the students not to be involved in your organization, and frankly they want to be involved. Same for churches. Have you thought about how you're going to do it? Or is it strictly going to be a virtually only meeting this year? Or are you going to have a parking lot meeting? Or are you going to have some use of your building? But think about the technology that's involved and how are you going to do that? And so the other areas that we would offer to help you with is, how is your organization doing financially, people-wise? Have you had to make tough decisions? Process-wise, has anything changed? And just operationally, what issues are you running into? Especially colleges, universities. These are tough times, and so you have a business to run, a school to run, and all those operational type activities and expenses continue. So we would say start looking at those for impact, because you will have an impact. Most colleges, schools, churches have already seen a financial impact as well as an operational impact. We are here to help. Our organization is set up to help in all areas, whether it's the medical side, it's the virtual side in terms of technology evaluation, it's the organizational side, people, process, financial, just whatever you need to be successful, because our purpose is to make sure that you continue to serve those that you were created to serve and make it through this in a good way to pivot your organization to actually be better and be prepared not only for this fall, but for the long term. Thanks so much for joining us. Let us know how we can help.